Matt who? Matt who? Hell, man. We here. What up? Here she is. Look at this thing, man. Cut this bevel on it today, the primary bevel and the swedge bevel. But see how nice that Stonewash look is? I don't use a tumbler anymore because the tumbler makes too small a marks. Look at it, really good. I'll show you how I do it. It's blurry. Yeah, I can see it on my computer. It's blurry. Hold on. I'm going to go in and go out. Yeah, can you see how that Stonewash looks? So I'll show you how I do it. After I get it out of the acid, of course, I neutralize it with baking soda, and then clean it with a paper towel consistently. And instead of using the tumbler, this is all I do. Wire brush. Does it a lot quicker. It makes a more uniform, nicer looking Stonewash, I think. So now, I gotta sand the spine. Make it, sand it polished so it pops, when I put the scales on. The cool thing about the Stonewash is the side grinds of the carving will stay stonewashed, so the top will really pop. So that's how I do it, just with a wire brush, man. It's a lot faster. It puts a cooler pattern on it, I think. I mean, if you can really see it, you know what I mean? I could do with this wire brush what it takes a half an hour with the tumbler. So I got to drill the holes now. I only hardened the blade, so this is good to go. And I did a video on this whole process, how to heat treat it in my forge and how to anneal it, everything. Normalize the metal. So I'm going to show everybody the process of of normalizing the metal before heat treat. How it's done with 1095. That's what this is. Sammy in the house. Oh God. So, anyways, I got a piece of 400 stronger than that. But you'll see what's going on here. Yeah, I gotta get a bigger grit. This is 120. What I start with? Yeah, cherry wood. That's about the prettiest. Black walnut's pretty too, but I like cherry wood better. Yeah, this is Sammy. This is my ultimate fighting knife. This is the baddest, deadliest blade you can have in a fight. It makes a gash, severing way more veins than a clip point or drop point or any other style of blade could ever possibly do. It just doesn't stick straight in. That forces, as you go in, the swedge forces the blade down as it's entering, continually as it's going in. So instead of a gash this wide, you're making a gash twice as wide by the time you get to here. Severing veins and arteries, that's what it's about if you stick with a knife. Thanks, Paul. I just got done stonewashing it. I'm showing everybody how I don't use a tumbler anymore. It takes too long, and I don't like to look at gifts, so I do something much easier. Wire brush. That's all you got to do. I do that for a couple of minutes and it's done. And it looks cooler than the tumbler. Louis sending me pictures. Can't look at him, Louis. I'm busy, can't you see? Yeah, this is a line pattern I put on it. Jumping in the front for thumb. But I designed this thing to fit your hand like a glove in either direction. You can see how it just snugs right in that palm. I mean, either direction. Upward, downward. Thumb ramp here. Hands out. And then this is a little crush pommel. That's lanyard hole, of course. It's well thought out. All right. 120. 220. All I got to do is sand this top. That's it. I'll leave the rest all stonewashed. Everything stonewashed, even the swedge, not the top. And then with it being stonewashed, the sides really pop looking down at it. You can see it clearer because the sides ain't the same color, you know what I mean? Bad connection. My PC's doing perfect right now, so it ain't me. A lot of different weather around. But last thing I do is put the secondary grind on the cutting edge. Heat treated it first and then ground the secondary bevel while keeping it nice and cool. Because you can grind on a grinder, a lot of guys don't know this, up to about 800-900 degrees. Not really hurt the temper. But generally, I mean, I quench every time I go across the grinder, and it probably doesn't get over 400 or 500 degrees when I do it. 1095. Toughest steel there is, right? Except MagnaCut, but reason why K-Bar makes them out of 1095. You can polish an edge on 1095 like nobody's business. You just got to take care of it. Keep it oiled. And most of my knives, I just put a silicone spray on them. Yeah, they make a lot of katanas and some samurais with the 1095 with another Japanese steel added into it. Most swords are comprised of 2 to 3 different steels. You got a core. That's a medium carbon, basically. Then you got the outer layers at the edge, usually around 1095 or something tough. And then, like 1080 or that Japanese steel that they use. I can't remember the name of it. OS8 or something like that. Not OS8. I can't remember the name of it. But the backbone of the sword usually gets a really tough steel mixed with another carbide. So there's usually 3 different steels in a sword. One little booger spot, man. I start getting up to 600, it'll really start shining. Okay, enough of that. We'll go to the 320 now. Yeah, honestly, Paul, I don't think I'd like a mono steel on a sword, to tell you the truth, but it works. I mean, 1095 is tough all the way around. Holds the razor edge and tough. And You can polish it like no other, and traditional Chinese swordsmanship, they always use 3 different steels. Japs too. Japanese, especially with the samurai, they got a certain metal for a core. The back of the blade, the spine of the blade is a different metal, and then the cutting edge is a different metal. I guess it acts as a shock absorber. That's the samurai's. Yeah, it'll cut corn down, I bet. Hey, Fat City, what's up, man? Getting tired yet, Dwayne? Big Daddy's in the house. Zona, Fat City. Okay, I switched to 400, I think. Yep. This knife would be, other than a straight blade, would be considered a Bill Skagel or William Skagel special. And if you know William Skagel, you'll know what I'm talking about. How many of you know who William Skagel is? And who's the biggest knife maker in the United States that he influenced the most? Some trivia question for y'all. Who was William Skagel, and who did he influence the most? The man he influenced the most, he makes some of the finest fixed blades in the world. Who can answer that question? The man I'm talking about is considered the most all-serious national and international knife collectors. He was born and raised in Canada, moved to Michigan. Didn't claim he was from Canada. Good, man. What is I'm going to go on back, off and back on. Okay. Hopefully that's better. My Wi-Fi don't suck at all. It's the weather around here. It's the settings on my phone is what it is probably. It's more of my phone than my Wi-Fi. I've got one of the fastest Wi-Fi's in the country you can get. It's a business router. It's not your regular home router. It has 5 antennas on it, and it picks up my security system and everything perfectly. Well, we don't have storms right now. None at all. It's calm out right now. Wind finally died. So it's a shot in the wind what it is actually. Not my Wi-Fi. I keep telling you that. You see why these knives are so expensive? I mean, technically, I could probably sell these for $375, $425, and I'm only selling them at $275. It's your mouth, fat daddy. It ain't my Wi-Fi. It's your mouth. Oh, I'm sorry, Big Daddy. I was thinking of Fat City and put fat in front of Daddy. I'm mad. I'm bad. That was an accident. Surely was. Fat City got me going. I'm gonna put cherry wood on it. Unless you want to hold off another week and get brown burlap, light brown burlap my card on it. I'll buy some on the 1st. But let me see. You need it before what? The 15th, you said? 3 to 4 days you get it in the mail. My mail delivery system, unlike the South, doesn't mess around. Everybody gets my mail in 2 to 3 days. Before the 5th. When's your event? The 12th, I think you said? $500. No, $600. When's your event? It ain't before the 5th. Did you say the 12th? Don't feel sorry for whose old ass. Starting to shine now, boys. But you get to that 600. Wow. Fucking. Man's old ass. I ain't old. I don't even look old. I ain't got a gray hair in my head. You gotta see what I ate for dinner tonight, boys. I made some killer, I Italian sausage soup. Oh man, broccoli in it and tomatoes, and heavy whipping cream with diced onions and a whole cup of Parmesan cheese in it. Oh my golly. Hey, I'm still here, Annie. Wi-Fi or not, I'm still here. Yeah, okay. Whatever you say there, Big Daddy. And I mean big. I might be old, but you're fat and ugly. What's your excuse? 800. Believe me, I can keep up with any 47-year-old. Right now. Bring it on. I can keep up with any 30-year-old. You gotta see my brother when he plays basketball. His mouth is wide open the whole time he shoots and dribbles. Funniest thing you ever watch. You know what they say in my family? You put us all together, everybody in my family, you get a full set of teeth. White Michael Jordan. I don't know about that. Nobody tops the GOAT. Nobody tops the GOAT. All right, I'm not gonna take this to an endless pit. 1,000 grit. I got 1,500. I'm done. I wasn't even talking to you, Justin. What do you mean? At least I got all my teeth. I was talking to fucking Zona. Pardon my French. I'm sorry. Just trying to be a little funny tonight, you know? I was watching the guy's live today. He's about a 65-year-old guy, and he's a. I follow him, watch this channel all the time. He's a bluegrass player. 'Cause I like picking some bluegrass once in a while. I used to know it really well and forgot most of it, but so I follow him. I was watching him today, and they were talking about cussing on the channels and stuff. He's like, I'm no angel. He says, I do cuss. Not deliberately, but you know, is 85 to 90% of the English vocabulary. Back in the, before the 1940s, Yeah, it's quick. You know, that's for sure. Keeping rhythm. You know, and keeping perfect rhythm with any style of music is the hardest thing for any person to really grab a concept of right off the bat. You know what I mean? When they're as a beginner, keeping perfect rhythm is what it's all about. And it's tough with bluegrass, that's for sure. But I was saying back in before the 40s, up into the 40s, a 10, 12-year old kid could speak and write proper English grammar. After when the 50s started, it was a major decline. And now today in America, 85% of Americans cannot speak nor write proper English grammar because it's not taught. They quit teaching it. The only way you learn it is if you become a professor at it, learn it and teach it yourself. Even 85% of college grads cannot speak nor write it by their junior year. And most of them can't when they graduate. If you ask me honestly, and I'll tell you a little story about education. Education is way overrated. And now YouTube University makes colleges obsolete. But no, they don't. They don't know how to even sign their own name on a check. The government don't want checkbooks anymore. They want plastic. They want to be able to cut you off whenever you don't comply at any given moment. Want to do completely away with currency. And I'm surprised the Federal Reserve, that's owned by these international crooks, allow it to happen. Or hasn't allowed it to happen yet. They're working on it though. They got a plan. I will tell you the dollar's about tanked. Countries are dropping and dumping securities. Japan is still a big player in our securities. China's dumping them because they know the dollar's going to shit. China ain't even on our monetary system. They got their own, just like Russia, India, North Korea, Brazil. Them 5 countries have their own monetary system. They told the IMF to get their heads screwed. And it's the IMF that owns the majority of all international, or the IMF owns the monetary systems of like 348 monetary systems out of 364, not even, industrialized countries. The IMF owns them, including the United States. And they did it through progressive wars. In 1913, the Federal Reserve Act was created by then Henry Ford came along and said if the American people know how the monetary system worked today, there'd be a war tomorrow. And that's just it. Americans have no clue how the monetary system works in this country, owned and controlled by international crooks. And we still hold the power. Don't use them. That's simple. But try to get a bunch of Americans that's already became dependent on that system off of it, right? But until we do, until we end the feds, our problems in Washington ain't going to go away. They're not going to go away with our money and how expensive. The Federal Reserve destroyed the U.S. dollar by 890% since 1913. The purchasing power. Hell, they destroyed it only 400% up until Reagan. And we've never been in debt as a nation over $980 billion. Never a trillion, ever, until Ronald Reagan. What are we now? 37.5 trillion in debt? That, my friends, creates monetary inflation so rapidly, each president's costing you 5 to 6 grand a year more to live every 4 years. Just on that alone. Monetary inflation is created by the government borrowing money they can't pay back. Fiat currency. And who's the king of borrowing in only 4 years? More than any president ever. That would be Donald Trump. And right now, you're feeling the impact from his first 4 years. Biden's monetary calendar ain't even over yet till the end of September, or actually September 1st. So you're not really going to feel the impact from what he spent until about the end of this year. Now, Reaganomics put capitalism in overdrive. Crookism. Capitalism is based on a free market. A free market. Do we have a free market? A fair market? A free market? A free market's when many compete against the ability to bring the price of goods down, right? To compete against one another. These big corporations owned by these big banks, they wipe out all the players, monopolize the system. We don't have capitalism, folks. 78% of our country is ran by socialism. That's a fact. But here I am talking about politics again. But yeah, Henry Ford once said, education, right? They took Henry Ford, his competitors took him to court because he didn't have but a fifth grade education. That's all he had. So his competition took him to court because he was paying his workers 5 times more than his competitors were paying their employees. He was paying his employees 5 times more. And the court system asked him, why are you paying your employees so much? And he says, Your Honor, because I want my workers to be able to afford the product they make for me. Okay? What up, Claude? Welcome back, brother. Man, this thing's starting to shine, Justin. Can you see it? Is it burning your eyes yet? All right, I'm ready to move on to this last grit. And this thing's ready for scales. I ain't doing the scales tonight. I'm going to get some early sleep tonight, boys and girls. This is 1500. That's as far as I go. That's farther than any knife maker really uses. Most of them go to 600 and that's it. I don't want my carbons to pop though, man. So, you know, and then his competitors in the courtroom were saying, hey, this man, Your Honor, this man don't even have an education. How can he make achievable what he's made achievable with such a low education? You know, they talked about everything in that courtroom. Henry Ford and the judge and his competitors that brought him to court. He ain't even educated. Well, Henry Ford stopped them all in their tracks. The Latin context of educe. And to have doing, having knowledge, educo. It's a Latin context. That's where the word education came from. He says, I have all the knowledge I have in the world around me. I get people with knowledge around me. I sit at my desk. I got a box and a bunch of buttons on it. I need something answered. I need something done. I just push a button and all that knowledge comes to me. That makes me highly induced and full of educo. I'm a highly educated man around me. You know, education doesn't come from a book. It comes from your ability to utilize what you do learn in context to educe, to use it. And Henry Ford used it by pushing buttons. He told his boys, he said, I want a V8 motor. I'm sick of this straight inline six, inline eight. He's got 6 months. I want you to design me a V8 motor, or you'll find another job in 6 months. Well, 6 months came. Guess what? Henry Ford got the first V8 motor, didn't he? So that's why I was saying before. Surround yourself with people who are where you want to be, and you become them. Just like if you used to surround yourself with barflies in a bar on a bar stool, you'll become a barfly. That easy. But yeah, kids can't speak proper English grammar. They can't write it. They can't even write their own name anymore in cursive, like this one fellow just said. Hey, buddy. Oh, he's talking to Fat City. I've always been a Ford guy. I've had 3 Mustangs. I got a Mustang out there too. The '98 I bought my wife a few years back. Got a cover on it right now. I'm about ready to take it off. But I got a Chevy pickup. The only thing I'll buy from Ford is a Mustang. And I want to get another one. Thinking about getting a square body and beefing her. Little project car. Well, how's that look, Justin? Get a little more light on that. Oh, it's foggy again, ain't it? Pardon me. Let me reboot here. Not paying attention to this. Come on, computer. Man, what is a thunderstorm rolling in or something? I don't know. It's perfect on my phone. Phone ain't cutting out at all, but I see it on my computer. It's terrible. Yeah, it's scrambled again, ain't it? Wow, what is wrong? I need to go off and go on to my OBS, and then all of you just wait, re-click on my page, and hit the next live stream. Because it won't happen on my OBS. It always happens with my phone. I don't know why. But yeah, it's there. 1500 grit. Looks good. Man, it's still. I'm looking at my computer screen and it's like all chopped up. Yeah, it is. I know. So if I get off my OBS stream, you guys want to click back on, refresh, and click back on? Because I'll do that now. Get off my cell phone. It's not my Wi-Fi. It's my. I guarantee it. So, all right, I'm getting off right now, and I'm gonna go to my OBS. So, just wait a couple minutes and refresh.